Yes guys, Jess here, back with another video. You read the title. I'm seeing massive analysis, massive signals, massive indications of the next move of the market. I believe that there's asymmetry right now. The market is kind of shoulders hand, and I'm going to give my thoughts on the next scenarios that are likely to play out. If you're watching this video, it's likely you've watched different analysis videos on the potential outcomes of this election, and I'm going to go through what I'm seeing depending on the result. So let's not waste time and get straight away into what's the content. And you can see this was what was on the chart, and we drew this when we had the last point of strength, which was literally around the 11th of October. So over 2 weeks ago now, and this is played out exactly to the T. And you can see we made all-time highs almost, and we rejected exactly from that area, and that consequently smashed our TP levels, as you can see on this chart over here. 1 to 10 risk reward ratio hit, and you can see exactly why I've taken profits at the range highs is because you're not going to break your previous all-time highs like knife through butter. You're going to have a rejection, and today, depending on the result, you may have volatility or whatever. Probably not like that, but something like this maybe, and then you're going to get consolidation, and then that's where maybe you try one more time, get rejected, depending on if we cut rates aggressively or not, and then you get that breakout a lot higher. Same scenario like we saw around August 2023 after the FTX crash. That big news, you tend to consolidate a little bit and then try again for your resistance area. For the Wyckoff schematic, we made the backup phase exactly like predicted, turning our previous higher high into support after smashing through it. And you can see we came up to make those all-time highs almost. It hit it to the T actually and rejected straight away. And then we created another higher low, and we're starting to drift up in towards this news and announcement. So that's another scenario I'm watching. On our breakout where we came around those previous highs, we failed to close 3 daily candles above this yellow line, which is our range highs right now for the Wyckoff schematic. So this is not acceptance above the range highs, and we still have not confirmed that sign of strength. So if we do pop our heads, which is the second scenario that I drew out, so as you can see here, if we do pop our heads up and then we get a correction, so buy the hype, sell the news plays out, same as the ETF, same as any other news event that was quite significant, typically you get that false move and then a nice correction into our pocket of our monthly open, weekly open, and you get a nice wick immediately back up. I do see us, if we can close multiple candle closes above this area here, so something like this that plays out on a lower time frame, we're going to definitely start closing a lot higher. So this is something to watch out for in the event that Trump gets elected. You can get a scenario like this where longs and shorts get wiped in the short term, and then you have a little bit of a consolidation confirming acceptance above the range highs, and then straight to Valhalla from there. So for the imminent short term, you can see we had this wick over here on the 4-hourly time frame on the 1st of November, and we came down at the 1st of the month, which is another thing that's played out quite a lot. Even October, we started the month negative, so our monthly open was above us today on the daily open. However, we had this massive candle right now where we're currently above the monthly open, so positive as it stands right now at the time of recording. However, I do see us actually somewhere up in this region if we're bullish this month and Trump actually wins. So we filled the inefficiency for this wick over here, and we are primed to actually start coming down, and I'll cover that on the next chart in more detail. So as you can see here, we filled that inefficiency from this previous day, 1st of the month, and you can see we banged into our range high resistance, which I've marked out on this chart over here. And you can see this red area here is our psychological level, previous all-time high is 69k, and we're currently above that with our 9 and 18 exponential moving averages angled up. However, if we do start to reject from here, this is going to be a right shoulder, which is gonna consequently gear us up to actually break this upsloping trend line, which is your neckline, and we can definitely have lower prices in towards this pocket where we have our weekly open and then our previous month's mid-range, and we have a 21 exponential moving average actually creeping up to where you expect major area of support somewhere within that region there. So that's something I am watching in the case that, for example, Kamala actually wins this election, which is undecided at the time of this recording. So for the liquidations, as you can see on the 24-hour, we've actually pumped into this liquidity area. We've grabbed the short liquidity here. So people shorting the price, looking for price to go lower, have been taken out, and you have a little bit of liquidity below us. So if we do actually start spiking down right now, we're going to just grab that liquidity to the downside before actually continuing and move upwards. So that is something to watch for. And on a higher time frames, the majority of the liquidity is actually still up. So on a 2-week, you can see once it loads that we have majority of liquidity above us. So that just means that in the short term, we can actually come down and grab this liquidity below us around 65 into 64, which is our mid-range. However, if you go to the 3-month, you're going to see something very, very interesting. So to the upside, we have so much liquidity above us. The liquidity below us, we have to get to 46k to actually grab that liquidity, which is not even that much compared to how much is actually above us. So that's something definitely that we need to be bearing in mind in the market. There's not much more downside we can realistically go. If we get to 60k, there's literally no liquidity. However, to the upside, we have so much liquidity to be grabbed. So to put it into perspective, I have a better chart with more numbers here, and you can see cumulative long liquidations in red. You can see over here, maximum at 61,500 is 80 million, and you can see over here on the right hand side of the chart, you have cumulative short liquidations in green, and at 78,300 you have 1.5 billion dollars of short liquidations right there, which is a lot more than your longs. So max downside, there's not much liquidity. However, to the upside, there's more liquidity, and Bitcoin always moves to the majority. So I am definitely seeing a squeeze inevitably at whatever point. We have short-term news this week. However, after this week, it's very clear which direction we're most likely to be heading. So if you're enjoying this video, make sure to smash up that like button and make sure post notifications are turned on to be updated every time I do upload, and make sure to be following me on Twitter to stay up to date with every single market development. So let's get on to the last bit of the video now, and then let's see what happens. So for poly market, this is actually massive. I've just seen the video on Twitter where Kamala Harris has been seen to be on a fake phone call, and her polls are crashing right now. This is beautiful for us right now. I am very sure that Trump's going to win because that's what he does. However, anything can happen. So I do think it's important to actually weigh up the different odds and scenarios on the market. It's all probabilities. However, this is the latest news you're going to see on the polls right now. And then let's get straight away in towards the chart and just bear this in mind and look at the different scenarios. As you can see here, we have our cup and handle still in play right now, and you can see we've broken out, we've closed multiple weekly candles above that downward sloping bull flag resistance level, and you can see this is definitely still in play. Whether we flush all the way down to our low 67Ks, it's still a nice retest where I do expect a reflexive bounce upwards where we start that parabolic stage. It's just the last bit of news now that we need to get through before we have that easy liquidity that's destined to be grabbed above us, and we can start heading towards our measured move, which is from your neckline of the cup to the bottom, and you take that to the breakout right there, and you get a nice price target of 120k for the BTC price. And for your CME Bitcoin chart, you can see we filled that CME gap nice and easy for this week, and we started to move up in towards this news where everyone's hyped and there's a lot of buy orders coming in now. So it's something to watch. We filled that wick you can see on your perpetuals chart. And for DXY, check the previous videos for more in-depth analysis. However, we slowed down exactly as predicted, and actually started rejecting, and now we're spending time just like the large plans we have drawn over here. And I'm expecting maybe a spike in towards the news today, in towards FOMC on Thursday, and then potentially a move further down. And if we do just consolidate more, I expect us to actually start reversing. So that's it from me, guys. If you do like the video, make sure to smash it up and also follow me on Twitter. And I'll see you guys in another update video where I'll cover the aftermath of this event and update you on what to do next. Peace out. See you guys next video.